Welcome to your channel Ray of Hope, and this is going to be another series for our bug bounty and web application penetration testing. Today, we're gonna cover one of the really critical bug, which is XXE, known for XML external entity injection as well. So before that, we are going to cover XXE. We need to know basic thing. When we are using HTML, we are performing HTML injection, right? When we are using JavaScript, we are performing XSS. Cross-site scripting. If we are using SQL, we are performing SQL injection. If we are using irrespective of command like Windows or Linux, we are performing command-based injection. So similar way, in XXE, if we are using XML, which stands for Extensible Markup Language, we are performing XXE injection attack. Got it? Okay. So what is XML is actually? So when we talk about XML, it's a common format used to store and share data on the web server. However, if not handled securely, it can be exploited through XML injection. This attack happens when hackers exploit flaws in how XML data is processed, allowing them to tamper with the data, steal sensitive information, and manipulate the system. Okay, what is XML injection is now? When we talk about XML injection, XXE is a vulnerability where attackers manipulate XML data to include what? External entities. By doing this, they can access sensitive information, execute malicious code, disturb the system, and potentially causing significant damage. It can lead to SSRF, it can lead to remote code execution, DDoS attack, and whatnot. Okay, so let's consider one hypothetical scenario with this picture which I have over here, right? If you look at this picture, what is happening over here? Hacker found out the application is using weakly configured XML parsers, right? And so what he has done, he sent a request, XML request, then application processed that or retrieved that malicious external entity within the document type declaration. So when we talk about DTD, what is DTD actually? DTD is a document type definition as well, and its main purpose is to specify XML document structure and to specify XML entities, right? So once it specifies or retrieve the malicious code in DTD, XML processor validate the DTD and then XML request is parsed. And once it is parsed, it's sent back to the hacker. And hacker got the sensitive credential from the victim server, right? Okay, it might be confusing, you not need to get confused, right? Stay tuned with us, we will be covering each and everything. Okay, so when we talk about XML injection, we talk about. But what is entity injection? Also, we need to cover few things about it, right? So when we talk about XXE vulnerability, it occurs when application use XML to exchange data between browser and the server without proper securing how XML is processed. Like there is no input validations or sanitizations, or DTD is not properly configured. So application use standard parsing libraries or platform APIs to handle XML data. And these libraries often include features that can be risky even if application itself doesn't need them. One such features is external entities. Most of the time, we're gonna talk about what are external entities, which are custom XML entities that reference the file path or URLs. An attacker can exploit this feature by creating malicious payloads to take advantage of XXE vulnerabilities, right? Okay. So now what is XML entities actually? So any entity is a piece of XML code that can be used and reused again and again in a document by referencing it. Confused, right? Just stay tuned with us. Entities in XML are used to replace bit of information, simplify difficult to type characters, or include entire documents. Before they can be used or referenced, they must be first declared in the document type definition, DTD. Okay, let me tell you one scenario, right? Suppose in an application, there's one like HTML headers that are using multiple places, right? So instead of writing that code or copy pasting again and again, you will just create entities that can take a reference of that headers and you can use it whenever you need it, right? So that is entities, right? Okay. So now when we talk about over here, XML entities have three types: internal XML entities, external XML entities, and parameter XML entities, right? Okay, so when we talk about the first type is internal XML entities, right? So when we talk about internal XML entities, this type of entities are often defined within the local DTD document type definition and can be used anywhere in XML document. It is basically like replacement or used for substitution. Confused? Let me give you an example. Suppose this is a hypothetical scenario. I am requesting, right? What I'm doing right now, if you look at document type note, entities, greeting, subscribe to Ray of Hope. Guys, please subscribe. Note and then tov or then greeting, and then that's what it is, right? So suppose what is happening over here? Over here, greeting is an internal entity, right? Greeting is a internal entity and its value is subscribe to Ray of Hope, right? So when XML parse this and greeting replaced with subscribe to Ray of Hope, this is the output we get. So over here, if you look at, we don't have internal entities, rather than we have just have subscribe to Ray of Hope. So this greeting has been removed or parsed, right? You got it? Okay. Not need to confuse, just stay focused. We will be covering everything, right? Okay. Now we have something called external XML entities, right? So when we talk about external XML entities, these type of entities are defined outside of local DTD. It is not within the DTD, but outside of DTD. Remember that. And can be used anywhere in XML document. Anywhere. It is like fetching a resources from external area and printing it wherever it is referenced. So most of the time, we are going to use like a external XML entity only, most of the time. But yeah, it is needed to know about other aspect of it as well, right? Okay, so if I give you an example, if you look at this request, what is happening over here? There's entity external data, right? System, and then there's a URL, which is http://rayofhope.com, and there's a text file, which is abc.txt, and then there's note and tov and then external data and what it is, whatever, right? That's a piece of code, a very simple code, so you don't need to get confused. So over here, if you look at that external data or system, right, defines an external entity named like a http Ray of Hope, right? So this is what is happening, right? So once the process attempts to fetch content from where? From Ray of Hope, right? Once it parser attempts to attempt to fetch the data or text from this URL, right? Then it replaces the external data with this information, and then therefore we will be getting whatever data, like this system, whatever data they fetch from this information abc.txt, that will reveal over there. Because over here, what is happening? This, if they are replacing external data with the fetched content, right? And if the file contains this external data or anything that the this abc.txt has, it will reveal over here. So this is external XML entity, right? Okay. So even XML entity it has two types. One is private and one is public external entities. Okay. So what is private external entity? So when we talk about private external entities, are those that references local or system specific resources such as file on the server or resources that are not intended to be shared publicly. Remember that these identify the system, keyword system, and are intended to be used by single author. So over here, the example which you have seen, this example is of private external entities, right? Private external entities are defined within the DTD and can reference system specific files as well. So if you look at like over here, what I'm doing, entity name or external data, system which is local, and the file path, or that is a file path, right? So if you look at the example, document type, entity, local, system, file path, this, and this is what it is, right? So this is how the private external entities looks like. When we talk about public external entities, we are talking about entities referred to entities that are globally defined and can be referenced by other XML documents as well, or system. It is not like a dependent system, but it can take both references. They are usually linked to the resources available via public URLs or globally recognized resources. These are identified the keyword public and are intended for the broader users. Like this, everything would be same. Instead of using system, we use the public, and then we have the global URL. This is how their code looks like in a simple way, right? Okay. So when we talk about then there is one more example, which is parameter entities. That is really important to know about it, even though we are not going to cover, we are not going to ask in interview as well, but yeah, we need to know about it. So when we talk about parameter entities, this type of entities can be used only inside the DTD and symbol, this percentage symbol is the used to represent it, right? So mostly this, I mean, over here, if you look at document entity and percentage section 1, close braces, section 1 to that what it is, right? So over here, what is happening, right? What is happening, that percentage section 1 and the section 2 are parameter entities. These two are the parameter entities, right? Parameter entities, right? Used to represent two different section content. These two entities differentiate two content, right? And then when they parse, right, the final documents will contain both sections like this. Okay, got it? Not need to get confused. Just understand the basis, right? And we are going to cover practically as well, right? Okay. So now, what are the types of XXE actually? When we talk about type of XXE, we have three types actually: blind, in-band, and out-band. Attacker cannot directly see the responses, but infer information based on the server response time. We talk about blind SQL, remember? Right? Go and watch that video. In-band, the attacker sends XML request and receive response containing the request data, allowing them to retrieve sensitive information. Out-band, the attacker uses the XXE vulnerability to exfilter that data to remote server, and they control bypassing traditional security. Okay, so we are not going to cover each of the vulnerability right now. I'm going to tell you each and one. We will be covering one practical stuff right now, and then you will have the understanding of it, right? And our upcoming videos will cover each vulnerability related to XXE, including blind, in-band, and out-band as well, right? Okay, what are the mitigations do we have for this? So when we talk about mitigations, the first important thing, obviously, if not needed, disable external entities. Configure XML patches to disable XML entities processing to prevent XML entity XXE attackers, right? Then also make sure to implement input validation and sanitizations. Validate the sanitized user input before incorporating into XML data. Ensure that the user supplied input adheres to expected formats and does not contain any malicious construct. Limit XML parsing permission. This is must needed. Restrict the permission of process parsing XML to minimize the impact of potential exploit. Right? Okay. So when we talk about this, there are multiple, you have to implement BAF and whatnot. We have multiple things that you can do, right? But they are the basic that you need to remember, right? Okay. So finally, we are done with the theory part. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the host or Debian machine, which I'm using for the XXE lab, right? Stay tuned with us. It may take some time to open. Yeah, guys, if you want, you can install it, right? If you needed this ISO file, come to me. I will definitely let you know that how you can get it, right? Just comment, right? IF config. I got the IP, right? Okay. Okay. So if you look at what I'm gonna do right now, just log into this IP. Okay. So you can see web for pen tester. I'm using pen tester lab. Over here you can see there's an XML attack, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, open this example. Okay, can you see something over here? Anything? XML, right? Hey, over here, this XML is parsing this request, right? Right? This request they're parsing, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, just to test, this is basically be identifying that the application is using XML. That means it is not sure if it is using XML, then it is one level for XML. You can try XML. That is the first step to identifying. So what I'm gonna do right now, if I'm gonna go ahead and search like Ray and the close braces Ray and the Ray of hope. See what is happening? Hello Ray of hope. So whatever we are providing, we are getting the output, right? So what we gonna do, guys? You not need to be a coder in order to perform this task. You can just go ahead and search Payer GitHub. From here, we got one passport, right? This is the payload that I'm gonna use. And for that, we always have to make sure that we are going to encode that. Just be encoded, right? We got the encoded URL. So what I'm going to do right now, I'll be removing this and will provide my XML data over here and click enter. Can you see? Can you see? We got the root details, password details, and whatnot, right? So this is how XML can be performed. But wait, can be perform XML over here without encoding? Let's see. Can you see? Hello warning, system logs failed, press error. It is not providing the details that we asked for. So it is needed. It is make sure you are always encoding your URL before testing, right? So like if I go ahead and like if I paste like over here passport, if I say like host and then encode this, what information I can get over here with this? Let's see. No, it didn't work out. So again, this is how the XML works, right? So if you needed anything, if you need me to cover any specific vulnerability or anything, please go ahead and comment. I would be happy to help you. And thank you so much for watching. Do like, subscribe this video. Thank you.